Welcome back, Superstar. I am here with Phil M. Jones, international keynote speaker, global bestseller, author of Exactly What to Say, which has sold over 1 million copies. We're here to talk about how to ask anyone for anything, rejection-free formulas for opening a conversation. All right, Phil, welcome back. Let us talk about why it's so important to have this rejection-free opening.
Okay. We all know that if you do not ask, you do not get, right?
That's right.
Nobody is in conflict with that. Yet still, so many people don't get what they want in life because they just don't ask for it. Mm-hmm. I've learned that your success is in direct correlation to the quantity of quality asks that you make in your life. And yet still, people don't ask. If I find out from any of my work why people don't ask, it's either fear, rejection, or fear of rejection. It kind of summarizes into all of those areas. Yeah. And as such, one of the places that we start in the book of Exactly What to Say is to give people some examples of rejection-free opening formulas, how they can ask people in a more persuasive and influential way where it doesn't sound so pushy, it sounds more pulley. And before we just give an example of some words, let's talk a touch about, well, firstly, rejection as a whole.
Yeah.
Because I find it interesting that in our personal lives, we deal with rejection all the time.
Yeah.
And more often than not, we're fine with it, right? It's like, do you want this for dinner tonight? And they're like, no, thank you. Or next vacation, I'd love to go here. And they're like, are you kidding? Or it's like, you want to have fun in the bedroom. And they're like, not tonight, honey. It doesn't matter. We get rejection day in, day out. And in our personal life, we tend to be more okay with it because we know that, like, if he or she said no to Chinese food, like chicken and broccoli is still in your future, right? You're still going to get it someday soon.
That's true. So, the stakes are lower, it sounds like, with those types of questions.
Well, they're not even necessarily lower. We actually just have an inbuilt understanding that no doesn't mean no. Mm-hmm. No just means no, not right now. Okay. That's what we understand in those scenarios because we've got enough evidence, enough history, enough experience.
Okay. Yeah.
And we know they're not saying no to us, they're saying no to it.
To the thing.
And they're only saying no to it right now. Mm-hmm. So actually we have this belief system that says it's okay to accept the rejection in our personal life because later, another day, another time is something we're very happy to accept. But in our business lives, or when it really matters, or in a high stakes environment that we've decided is high stakes, we put so much pressure on it, that's what creates the fear.
Got it.
It creates the fear, and then what we do is we get clamped up, and we think we have to make this big, bold ask. Yeah. And it's like trying to have a marry me button on a dating profile, right? It's often too big of an ask at too early of a stage in the conversation.
Indeed.
So what rejection-free openers do is they create, well, really a play space. Okay. And that play space is safe because it's not black or white, it's grey. And that grey space allows you to go on an exploration in conversation with the other person. Okay. It's a lot more freeing. So you probably want an example, right?
Of course I do. Yes, please.
Okay. So if I had an idea I wanted you to consider, instead of asking you directly to consider the idea, I'd position it to the left of you or the right of you. Okay. And I'd position it with the words, I'm not sure if it's for you. Okay. So if I position an idea with the words, I'm not sure if it's for you, your little voice does a couple of things, actually. Mm-hmm. Little voice inside your head actually does two things. Firstly, it says, well, I'll be the judge of that.
Right.
Right. It says, this
You're not going to decide this for me. I get to decide, yeah.
But the second thing that happens is curiosity is piqued. Okay. It's a natural, like, I need to know what it is. Like, tell me what it is, right? Like, that happens. You then stick a three-letter word on the end of this. And it's a three-letter word that often we're taught to avoid. It's the word but. See, what people think the word but does is it negates what was said prior. Mm-hmm. What the word but actually does is it shifts the focus to next. That's what it really does. It doesn't make that go away. It makes you look over there. Mm-hmm. We've been on the receiving end of feedback in the past, right? Like, I know you're trying to do everything the way you did it at your last job. And you're really trying to do your best here, but everything goes over here.
That's
we didn't
true.
Forget that.
Everyone always, that's true. It does negate what came before. In this case, you're doing it on purpose.
On purpose, to shift the focus to next. So if I use the sequence of words, I'm not sure if it's for you, but what I can do is I can introduce just about anything to just about anybody. Right. Could be as simple as, I'm not sure if it's for you, but there's a movie I want to go and see on Thursday night. I'd love you to join me. It could equally be, I'm not sure if it's for you, but we're having some great success with people in your industry, and I wondered if we could do the same for you. It could be as easy as, I'm not sure if it's for you, but we have some additional offerings that I think could really amplify the results you're getting right now. Like, we could use it hyper-focused from a commerciality point of view, in a flirtatious point of view, in a suggestive point of view. What it does is it just dangles some bait out there. Yeah. In a sales world, people often talk about, like, are you hunting or are you farming?
Yes.
What I've learned is way more successful is to go fishing.
Woo!
Right?
Yeah,
And somewhere
I like
right in
that.
the middle of that.
Hey, Phil, one thing I want to point out about that, I'm sure you've thought of this. I want to point it out to the audience. What I love about it is it aligns with one of my core principles, which is non-attachment.
Right.
Right? So what you're doing there also is you're showing the other person, listen, I'm not attached
That's exactly
to what you do. There's not pressure here. I'm cool either way. I don't know if it's for you, but it creates a little distance, a little non-attachment, which is actually kind of attractive.
It's attractive because the other person can lean into that
They
space.
can lean in. There's space, yeah.
I mean, I think it'd be kind of fun that, like, if you're watching this at home right now, like how do you learn this stuff? You learn it through experience. How would you feel if we just get people to maybe have a go at using these words in their world?
I would love that. And by the way, everyone, buy the book. And also, I have a whole bunch more videos with Phil M. Jones. I want to invite you to that playlist so that you can watch all of them because they are all outstanding. All right, let's do it.
Well, in my certification programs, we invite attendees to do what we call a text message challenge.
Okay.
We introduce this sequence of words, and they're like, I get it, I get it, I get it. And then I'm like, well, we're going to do something with it right now. And they go, oh, dang. Right? That fear of rejection thing is real. I'm like, we've got to prove how this works.
Okay.
So what I'm inviting you to do is to reach for your phone right now and think about somebody that you would like to make an ask of, somebody you've been meaning to make an ask of for a period of time. And type the text message, starting with the preface, I'm not sure if it's for you, but. And that could be as simple as, hey, I'm not sure if it's for you, but I was hoping to go and visit blank. And leave it with a question mark and watch how somebody leans back in. If you've got a commercial setting where you might be saying, hey, I'm not sure if it's for you, but I've got some ideas I'd love to bounce off you. When would be a good time to chat? Make sure you finish with a question mark, send the text message. The world stops for a text message as well, right? You don't have to deal with open rates and other things that we have to deal with other methods of communication. You're not making a cold call. You're just sending a suggestive text. And I promise you, if you're brave enough to do that like now or in the next 30 minutes, later on today, you'll be in play with something you've been procrastinating about for quite some time.
Yay! Oh, I love it. I love it. I'm so excited. Corbin, did you just send a text message? I love it. Even our team here is playing the challenge. So do it and then post below in the comments what happened. What question did you ask? Who did you ask it of? And what came from it? All right, sweet. All right, everybody. So those are your marching orders. Let's hear what happened, and I will see you on the next video.
John Acuff describes empathy as to care about what the people you care about care about.
Love it.
So simple. But that's why you have to remain curious for long enough to know what matters to them.
Right.